We got some breaking news. Sound the sirens. You thought it was going to start at 12 p.m., the legal tampering period? No. The Jets make a splash trade and add a player at a huge position of need. He's been linked to the Jets a few months ago, but it's official, folks. The New York Jets are trading for safety Minkah Fitzpatrick for a 7th-round pick, and they're going to be signing him to a 3-year, $40 million contract. Folks, free agency frenzy begins. Can you believe this? A 7th-round pick. It's basically signing the man in free agency. You're basically getting him for absolutely nothing, for pennies. What a move from the New York Jets, man. I know you're thinking, Richie, this guy is washed up. He's nothing special anymore. I disagree big time. He was graded out as the 7th best safety in the NFL last year, 9th coverage grade. I mean, this is a guy that is easily the best player in the Jets secondary immediately, and that's how bad the Jets secondary is now after trading away Sauce Gardner. I mean, you cannot convince me that this is a bad move. At a huge glaring hole, a lot of people were saying that the Jets are going to be aggressive in the market of safeties, and boy, were they right. Boy, were they right. They make a splash as soon as possible. Right when the New York Jets needed to make a move, they did it. So hit that thumbs up button right now. Another big connection with this trade is that the Jets hired Brian Duker to be their defensive coordinator, who was working with Minkah Fitzpatrick last year in Miami. So there's a lot of connections already. There's a lot of connections. So this is, I mean, the value is off the charts. $40 million deal, 3 years, $12 million per year. You're not breaking the bank. He's 29 years old. The Jets are prioritizing veteran leadership. This is one of those splash moves that you absolutely love to see. You do not give up ridiculous amount of capital. You're not even talking about a 3rd, a 4th, or a 5th, or even a 6th. You're talking about a freaking 7th-round pick, which you can basically say is this a dart throw. Absolutely unbelievable value. And the contract, 3 years, $40 million. He's locked up. 3 years. I'm curious to see what the details of the deal is in terms of, you know, the contract guarantees and all that fun stuff. But how can you be a Jets fan right now and not love this move to start off Victory Monday? Yeah, that's right. I called it Victory Monday, even though it ain't no Victory Monday. I get it. But chat, let me know your overall thoughts right now as we are live. We got the first super chat of the show. Muji already cooking a 7th. LOL. Good morning. For real, man, I was not expected to go live until a few more hours. 12 o'clock is when the legal tampering period begins. And I was getting my morning ready. I've been up since 6 a.m. doing my morning routine. Went for a morning walk. Saw the sunrise. Had a nice little morning. Was watching ESPN this morning. Tua is officially released. Other news breaking around the NFL, and then all of a sudden, bang, I get this update, and I'm like, oh boy, we're going live that soon? We're going live on the channel right away? All right. I can't be mad. I mean, I can't be mad at the Jets for starting it off. So shout out to Hennessy Heisman for bringing the first super chat of the stream to the channel. Everybody hit that thumbs up button. Let me know your overall thoughts of this move, because I think that it's an absolute no-brainer. If you're a Jets fan, you're going to clown on this trade. You're basically a hater. Now, is this going to level up the Jets to become an elite football team? No, of course. There's a lot more holes to fill. But if I told you heading into this offseason that the New York Jets have, if you want to rank their biggest holes on the roster, yes, quarterback is the biggest hole, 100%. But next to that, I would say safety is a gigantic hole. And Minkah Fitzpatrick is a guy that's filling in a huge hole. Someone at 29, a veteran that the Jets desperately need. Desperately need a veteran in this building, bro. And this is a guy that is going to bring a lot of leadership, a lot of stability, somebody that understands the game of football, someone that has played this position at a high level, someone that understands what it means to be great. I mean, the Jets need to fix their defense, man. And I think that this free agency period is going to be all about defense. That's the priority, folks. The defense is going to be everything in this period of the offseason. So let me know your overall thoughts, because I'm still pretty hyped up about this move. It's Fleece O'Clock. Let Mooj cook. Another super chat comes in from Juju Gaming. My boy Jose in the chat. Thank you so much. I appreciate you big time. The Jets are starting off this Monday with a freaking splash, with a bang, baby. Let's go, man. I love this. I absolutely love this. This is a really good trade for the Jets, man. It really is. Aaron Glenn, this is the type of trade that tells you what they're really in the mood for. Now, Joseph has to be trolling. This is an absolutely terrible trade. Worst trade we could have made. Joseph, I know you're trolling. I'm not going to engage. I'm not going to engage. The Jets need players like Minkah Fitzpatrick. He may have a downtick of, ability to be an elite football player at his position. He used to be the best safety in the NFL. Okay, he's not the best safety in the NFL anymore, but he's still a top 10 safety in the league, bro. He is still a top 10 safety in the NFL, and that is an immediate upgrade. A former first-round pick from Alabama. He's got the Alabama connection with Malachi Moore, another Jets safety that they drafted last year. And you look at his numbers, man. I mean, he was drafted to the Miami Dolphins and then went to Pittsburgh for a long time and was an absolute dog with Pittsburgh. He goes back to Miami, and in that season with Miami, he wasn't bad. So now you're looking at a football player that's ready to go. You're ready to freaking go. Mooj playing money ball. Let's effing go. And Minkah's coming home. He's from Jersey. I think this is crazy, man. And the best part about this trade, it's not even just what the Jets are getting in Minkah. The value is ridiculous. It's absolutely off the charts. Thank you, Boogie B, for a super chat. You're the man, brother. And this is what I mean. This is from a Dolphins fan. As a Dolphins fan, I'm pissed the Jets didn't give us more for him. Questionable move by new GM. That's what I'm saying. Dolphins fans, please enlighten me, because I honestly don't even know this answer. What did you give up to get Minkah last year? Because I know you traded for him last year from Pittsburgh. What did you trade for? What did you give up to get Minkah? Because a seventh round pick? I mean, that is just absolutely ridiculous value. You're talking about robbery? That's what this is. A guy that's still playing very efficient football. I mean, I'm just shocked, man. Zach Rosenblatt brings up a good point on X. Darren Muji has now made trades acquiring Minkah Fitzpatrick, Harrison Phillips, Jawan Briggs, Jarvis Brownlee, and didn't give up more than a 6th round pick for any of them. All will be key players for the Jets defense. Crazy. That's the, like, listen, if the Jets gave up a 4th, I'd be feeling a little different. I'd be like, okay, that's a bit expensive for a guy that's 29. That, okay, a 7th, that's crazy. That's crazy. So the trade that Minkah, oh, okay, I remember now. Jonnu Smith plus a 7th was traded for Minkah Fitzpatrick. So Jonnu Smith, who was coming off a very good season, and the Dolphins didn't want to pay him, I believe. They traded away Jonnu Smith and a 7th round pick to bring back Minkah to Miami. And now they're just getting a 7th back. That's crazy. We got Adam on Facebook saying, I love your show, man. Thank you, Adam. Appreciate you tuning in. I really, really do. Absolutely. This is a great trade. Instant upgrade, ball hawk. Facts. Instant upgrade. Like, that's the thing, man. Like, it's an immediate upgrade. at a huge position of need. At a huge position of need. I love this move. I'm shocked. We just completely stole him from a division rival. I mean, I'm not sure if I'm processing this right, but... And also, the contract value is pretty impeccable. Okay, so Joseph doesn't know ball. How am I trolling? 40 million straight to our cap. That's not how cap works, my friend. Joseph, the Jets are not losing $40 million of their cap space because of that. Okay, so let me just educate you real quick on how money works. The Jets signed Minkah to a $40 million contract over 3 years. That does not mean now the Jets have shaved off $40 million of their cap space for this year's spending. First of all, we have to see the details of the deal, number one. Number two, $40 million is for 3 seasons. And number three, it's not $40 million fully guaranteed. So I guarantee you, when the details come out of the contract, the Jets probably signed him to a deal where they can get out of it after this year if they wanted to. Say Minkah has an injured-riddled season and he's playing really bad football. I bet you there's a way the Jets can probably cut him next year and not have too much dead cap to worry about. 40 million straight to our cap is not how it works, my friend. So if you're looking at the money and think that this is a bad trade because of it, that's ridiculous. It's $13 million AAV. And we have to see exactly what the contract is in terms of the guaranteed money. We don't know exactly what the guaranteed money is. It's $13 million per year. And you're giving up a 7th round pick. And this is what? Let me look at the highest paid safeties in the NFL right now. Highest paid safeties contracts. Because where does this even rank on the most highest paid contracts in the NFL? So yeah, you're looking at the highest paid's $25 million per year. And then 21, 19, 18, 17, 16. So you're looking at the Jets just signed Minkah Fitzpatrick to a contract of value that is ranked around the 13th, 14th highest paid safety in the league, bro. That's unbelievable. That's value, folks. Come on, man. That's unreal. We didn't sign him to a record. Like, if the Jets just signed Minkah to a record-breaking deal or resetting the market or something like that, I'd feel very differently right now, but that's not the case. That's not the case. I mean, look at all the safeties in the NFL that's getting paid. Kyle Hamilton got $100 million, reset the market. Kirby Joseph, $85 million total. Antoine Winfield, $84 million. Derwin James, $76 million. And we're going to whine and cry over $40 million. Like, this is basically what the Jets gave Minkah, the hooker deal. $40 million, $13 million AAV, around that. I mean, come on, bro. This is a value trade. You're getting a very good deal. If you are a Jets fan and you do not like this trade, I definitely don't understand why. You know what I mean? Like, I don't see where there's a risk here. I don't see where you could possibly say, and what did I say? Look who's pumped up about this trade. Look who's pumped up about this trade on X. Malachi Moore. Somebody who probably admires Minkah Fitzpatrick as an Alabama safety himself. And now he gets to be teammates with him, learn from him. Unreal. Absolutely unreal. This is unbelievable stuff. And how this is like a very good way to kick off this free agency frenzy. Minkah for 7th, steal, $13 million a year, good bargain. Facts. I mean, and this is a position of glaring need. Glaring need. Like, you're talking about a guy that absolutely needs to get on the, like, you're talking about somebody that absolutely needed to get this Jets football team. You're talking about somebody that will come to this Jets football team and immediately help. That's what I'm trying to say. My head's spinning. I'm trying to process everything. Okay? 7th round pick, LOL. He's not good. So Being graded out as the 7th best safety in the league last year on a bad Dolphins team is not good. Having the 9th best coverage grade among safeties is not good. Even a pass rush grade at 13th among safeties is not good. Nobody's saying he's a superstar. Nobody is saying that Minkah Fitzpatrick is an all-pro talent anymore. Nobody's saying he's the best safety in the NFL. He's a bottom top 10 safety. A huge, huge upgrade of what the New York Jets had. And the New York Jets, and I just want to make sure you guys are aware of this, they're going to be prioritizing exactly what Joe R says, veteran presence in this week of free agency in the trade market. They're going after guys with veteran leadership to help instill a mindset in these guys. Okay? That's what it's about. You need to get these guys in the building to help. And their Jets are not done. This is just the beginning. They're going to add more veterans. If you guys start to complain that the Jets are not getting younger in free agency, wake up. Do not expect the New York Jets to sign young players in free agency. They're not going to do that. Do you know where they're going to get young players? With the 2nd overall pick and the 16th overall pick and the 33rd overall pick and the 44th overall pick and the rest of the draft. That's where they're going to get youth. They're not going to get young. So I feel like some Jets fans are going to start complaining that we're getting old guys. Guys, this roster is one of the youngest in the entire NFL. And it needs veteran leadership. Really good football teams are the ones that has a great balance of veterans and youth. The Jets have youth, not a lot of veterans. The only veterans on the football team are Harrison Phillips, who's a really good vet that I'm really excited to continue to watch be a Jet. Now Minkah Fitzpatrick. And who else? There's not really much. Garrett Wilson is now, I would consider, a young vet that's going to be more of a veteran leader in the locker room, for sure, Garrett Wilson. And even Breece Hall is becoming more of that young veteran. But outside of that, there's not a lot of veterans. Jamie Sherwood at linebacker, young. Jawan Briggs on defensive tackle, young. Tavondre Sweat, who we just traded away Jermaine, who was a leader in the locker room. He's gone. Sweat, young. Will McDonald, young. Brandon Stevens, I guess you can say. I don't really look at him as a leader. You know what I mean? I like Jarvis Brownlee's energy, but he's not a veteran. The Jets are so young, man. Folk is 500 years old. Well, Folk is also not a Jet right now. He's a free agent. And hopefully the Jets are going to bring him back. Teach him how to get an int. That would be massive. Are the Jets getting Nick Folk back? They're going to try to get Nick Folk back. I'm sure it's going to happen. He's going to test his market after having a very, very good season last year for the Jets. And look, this is Nicky Smokes' reaction from Barstool, Miami Dolphins fan. Excuse me, is 7th. And we're sending to a division rival. Absolutely love it. Absolutely love it. Absolutely love this move, man. This is great. And I feel like, the best part about this is the Jets are just getting started. We're just starting, man. We got 2 hours until the legal tampering period begins. How do we know the Jets are not going to go somewhere crazy? How do we know that the Jets are not going to start going nuts and signing everybody left and right? You feel me? How would you rank this trade, chat? Let me know in the comments right freaking now. Let me know in the comments how you feeling. Now trade for Brian Thomas Jr. Let's go, Muji. Now, I made a video about this yesterday. I think that this got shot down. This got shot down already. I'm pretty sure that the rumors of this got shot down, if I'm not mistaken. But the Jets should be all over it. The Jets should be all over it. The one thing I love about Darren Muji, man, is he's not afraid to trade, man. He's a man of trades. He's a man of trades, bro. He's going after real guys, and he's attacking with vengeance in the trade market, bro. 2 trades already. 2 trades. 2 trades. So let's get into some free agency buzz while we're here, folks. One player that it seems like is no longer going to be a Jet seems to be Elijah Vera Tucker. And unfortunately, it seems like he may be going to the Giants, as they are pursuing AVT. That's going to break my heart. I love AVT, man. I wanted him to be a Jet long-term. I wanted him to be the guy. I understand the injury concern, and the Giants are going to spend money on the trenches. And AVT looks like he's going to be going to the Giants. We'll see if that happens. People are upset about this. Go read a book and learn value. Yeah, really. If you are a Jets fan upset about this, then you just hate everything. You feel me? Then you just literally, because this is a trade. And listen, there's some trades where you can justify people not liking it. This one, I literally don't think there is one bad thing about this trade. And I'm serious. When you put all the bullet points together, what they gave up to get him, the contract they signed him to, the veteran leadership he's bringing, him still being productive at 29 years old last year for Miami, coming from the Dolphins, and he was with Brian Duker, who is now the Jets defensive coordinator, so there already is a connection to the staff. A huge position of need. I'm still waiting to hear the negative part of this. What's the negative? And then from a Dolphins perspective, why would the Dolphins do this? They needed to offload. The Dolphins are in a period that the Jets were in last year. First-year head coach, first-year GM. They're going to be cutting everybody. The Jets cut Aaron Rodgers last year and ate his dead cap. The Dolphins cut Tua. They're going to eat his dead cap. They're going to offload a lot of their contracts, offload a lot of their guys, and enter a stage of rebuild. And the Jets are in a rebuild of their own, but we're a year into the rebuild. We're now in year number 2 of this rebuild. Oh, the Jets have been rebuilding for 50 years. Okay, save your breath. I'm talking about this version of the rebuild with Aaron Glenn and Darren Muji. Save yourself, because I already know what's coming. Richie, we've been rebuilding since I was a kid. 50 years since we won the Super Bowl. We've been rebuilding for 15 years. Whatever you want to say. I get the jokes. But the reality is, this is year 2 of this rebuild. I know a lot of people have this mindset with the Jets where it's like, we think in decades. I don't think it that way. I think by regimes. You feel me? I think by regimes. And what I mean by that is, this is year 2 with this new regime. I'm not going to put the weight of the incompetence of the last 15 years of the playoff drought on the shoulders of Aaron Glenn and Darren Muji. That's not fair to them. They inherited this. They were not here for those seasons. They were here for an absolutely terrible, disgusting season last year, and that's it. That's the only thing they should be held accountable for, is their 3-win incompetent season last year. Nothing before that. So now they have a chance to right their own wrongs. Now they have a chance to continue to add talent, add pieces, add a lot of guys to this roster. Okay? And look, the consensus around the NFL, that's it. People are like, a 7th? That's it? It's just a 7th? That's it? You know what I mean? Like, a lot of people are questioning how the Jets just did this trade for just a 7th round pick. You would think it would be a 4th or a 5th, but no. Not the case. Very good. Very, very good stuff. How long was their playoff drought? Whose playoff drought? Who you talking to? The Buffalo Bills playoff drought, if that's who he's referring to, 17 years. The Jets are on year 15. So let's hope that Aaron Glenn can bring this football team to a opportunity to not be a Buffalo Bills team. But hey, if the Buffalo Bills can do it, why can't the Jets? If the Buffalo Bills can do it, why can't the Jets? Muji is so good at trades, it's insane. I'm not going to lie, man. He absolutely is good at trades. How do you trade a free agent? Minkah was not a free agent. Minkah was not a free agent. He was on a 1 year left of his deal with the Miami Dolphins. So that's why the Jets are able to trade for him before the legal tampering period begins. The crazy thing is they've been shopping for the last several days, and they get back a 7th. That's the best they can get. And they trade him in division. That's still ridiculous stuff. And I think that what Darren Muji has shown me is that he is low-key better at trades than he is anything else. We'll see what he does this week in free agency. But that's unbelievable. I feel like if you're a Jets fan, I mean, look, all of the comments from the NFL people around the world, 7th, that's it. You know, like that's what I'm talking about. How can you be a Jets fan and question this? There's already a big move. This is ridiculous stuff. Absolutely ridiculous stuff. Let's see what Will Parkinson, a great guy on X, says. Minkah last year was the 7th highest graded safety, according to PFF. Finished with 9th best coverage, 17th best against the run. Still can play at a very high level. Exactly what I said. Exactly what I was telling you guys. So I think that, yes, Miami's also releasing Tua, no doubt. What can we do now? Only trade, Richie? Well, the trades can happen any moment. The Jets traded away Jermaine Johnson, and now they traded for Minkah. I expect more trades this week from the Jets and across the NFL. And legal tampering begins at 12 p.m., which means we're going to see signings. I don't know how aggressive the Jets are going to be on the first wave. I would expect the Jets to be a little bit more aggressive as the day goes on, more into the evening. So we just got to wait and see. I don't know if Brian Thomas Jr. is actually an option for the Jets, but if he is, you got to go out there. You got to go out there, man. Dolphins fans are going to start saying he's washed now, Richie. Yeah, I know. That's what TD's going to say. That's what everyone's going to say. And, you know, the only and I want to ask Dolphins fans, because I've heard TD tell me this. I've heard some people in the Dolphins community that's plugged in told me this. When the Jets hired Brian Duker to be their new defensive coordinator, what the Dolphins fans told me was the only really positive thing about the Dolphins defense last year was the secondary. And Brian Duker was the defensive backs coach. And he worked with Minkah firsthand. So that's definitely something to watch, is the connection there between Duker and Fitzpatrick. He's coming home. He's from New Jersey. Let's freaking go. Jets Forever is pounding the table for an AVT and Linderbaum. I agree, but it's not happening. I'm definitely not expecting that. Linderbaum has not been linked to the Jets at all. I don't think the Jets are going to be aggressive. I do question the Jets' philosophy right now in the offensive line. We know they prioritized that. They drafted Membu last year, but it seems like right now they're going to let Simpson and AVT test the market, and there's a big chance they both leave. And if they both leave, there's a big hole at left guard. Where are they going to fill that hole? In free agency, in the draft? It doesn't even seem like they're linked to Linderbaum. They want to bring back AVT, but if they're going to let him test the market, he's probably going to get a big deal somewhere. John Simpson, I feel like you at least should just bring him back. I don't know why. But also, I think that there's a world where a lot of stuff that's going to happen that no one sees coming. I think that the Jets have proven they've done a pretty good job at keeping things in-house, right? Where you don't really know exactly what they're up to. You don't really know what the Jets are up to recently. You feel me? Can we just have a good team? I'm sick of being the losing team. I'm from Mass. Yeah, I wish it was that simple, man. Trust me. We could draft a guard maybe round 2. Yeah, I think that's also an option. But that's also risky. You're putting your You're putting your offensive line with another rookie on it. I mean, I like that idea. I like being able to really keep a young, youthful group together. That's how you keep a continuity. But I don't know. Curious. All the leaks are out of the building, man, for sure. All the sources now that I'm realizing that the Jets reporters are getting from, it's agents. It's not from people plugged into the Jets building anymore. The Jets are keeping things tight. And I think a lot of that is because Aaron Glenn is not telling anybody anything. Like in previous regimes, you know, you would be open and honest with your entire organization about what's happening. But now Aaron Glenn doesn't even trust probably his own people until he's going to gain trust. Like there's a lot of in-house stuff that's going on that we are not aware of. And a lot of the stuff that the reporters are reporting are coming from agents, which has been the case forever. But what's shifted is the Aaron Glenn keeping everything tight to the nest. I'm 53. I've been tortured by this team too damn long. Every season they draw us in, and by the 5th game, it's over. Yep, I hear you, brother. I hear you. I'd rather draft a center and use the money on the defense. Yeah, I think that the defense is going to be the priority everywhere. I mean, this offseason is going to be free agency and trade market is going to be all about defense, defense, defense. I'm telling you that right now. Rich Cimini adds, Fitzpatrick was due to make a non-guaranteed $15.6 million in the final year of his contract. The Jets are giving him a new deal, 3 years, $40 million per Adam Schefter. As always, the key is guaranteed money. No doubt it will be a more cap-friendly deal because $15.6 million is too heavy on the cap. So inheriting that $15.6 million hit, the Jets decided to extend it to a $40 million deal. So very interesting. I'm curious to get the details of this contract. How can you not like this trade, folks? I mean, how can you not? That's the energy from my boy Harlem. Born Bronx bred, baby. I'm 58 and will love this team no matter what. That's what it's about. Sherwood and a second for BTJ. Damn, that's a lot. But BTJ is a stud. I don't know, man, what's going to happen there. 2, 16, 33, and 44 should all be defense. I think there's a chance that at least 3 of the 4 is defense. The Jets are going to go heavy defense, man, with Aaron Glenn getting hands-on on the defense, and the Jets trading away 3 of their stars on defense, Quinnen, Jermaine, Sauce. The Jets really have no choice other than going heavy on defense this offseason. They really have no choice. Richie, I love the trade, so it's safe to say the Dolphins are getting Downs. I wouldn't say that's safe to say. Downs may not be available at their pick. Yeah, I don't think that's safe. They're not in a position to draft him unless he falls, which is possible, but you never know. Richie, what do you think about the Jets drafting Reese at 2 and 16 Ty Simpson? That would be absolutely massive. But I don't know if that's going to happen. I really don't. Simpson, I don't think will be there at 16. Jalen Ramsey was also part of the trade last offseason. I thought that was a separate trade. Wasn't it? I thought that Jalen Ramsey, Dolphins, Steelers trade. Let me see. Oh, yeah, so Jalen Ramsey was a part of it. Thank you for that clarification. So the trade was June 30th. The Steelers acquired corner Jalen Ramsey, tight end Jonnu Smith, and a 7th in exchange for safety Minkah Fitzpatrick and a 5th. So that was the trade between the Steelers and the Dolphins. And then the Dolphins just get a 7th back. Wow. Very interesting. How did the Jets pull this off, man? I mean, you talk about a market. I don't know, maybe some teams just did not feel comfortable about it. They did not feel comfortable about this at all. Like, this is a very big playmaking, versatile chess piece that's going to be added to the secondary. That is huge. Huge. Okay? Richie, do you want Malik Willis? I don't think so. I think it's too expensive for the Jets. Once upon a time, Minkah Fitzpatrick was one of the elite ball hawks in the NFL. 3 seasons with at least 5 interceptions, most recently in 2022 with the Steelers. His ball production has declined, 2 picks and 13 PBUs in the last 3 years. A big factor here is experience and leadership. Told you earlier the Jets were going to place an emphasis on intangibles. Fitzpatrick is that guy. Of course, the Jets need playmakers too. Remember, 0 interceptions in 2025. So that's Rich Cimini's thoughts of this. Who want to fly with them? Jets. You know it. Who are wide receivers available? Can you go through all the players, even other positions that are available, please? Yeah, the Jets, I don't think are going to be really aggressive on the wide receiver market. One name to watch coming back is going to be John Mechie. The fact that the Jets did not bring him back already on that tenure is very interesting. I just don't think the tenure was attractable for them in terms of like the size of the contract. So John Mechie, are the Jets going to bring him back or not? After trading for him, as of right now, he's going to be able to test free agency. So we'll see about that. Since number 10S, Holmes, left, no offensive prioritized. You're talking about Santonio Holmes? Santonio Holmes is... Wow. That's a callback, bro. Santonio Holmes. How about that catch he had in the back of the end zone? Against New England in the playoffs. Unreal. I'll never forget. Never forget. Why is Brady Cook being spammed? So Tyler actually brings up Mechie. Can we bring him on a 3-year, $1.5 million prove-it deal? That's not a prove-it deal. Prove-it deal would be more of a 1-year because when you are signed to 3 years, they're locked up for 3 years. A prove-it deal will be more like a 1-year so the player can ball out hypothetically and then cash out in the open market the next year in free agency. I think that the Jets are going to try to bring John Mechie back for a 1-year deal, though, for sure. For sure. Definitely don't want to let John Mechie walk. I don't know. Rich, I'm okay as a Dolphins fan getting what we got for Fitzpatrick because Sullivan was asking for a 3rd or a 4th. No team was going to give that up. Yeah, well, I'm happy that it was the Jets that was able to get it. The fact that it's a 7th, not even a 6th, the 7th. Like, that's like the last pick in the entire draft. It's honestly insane. Honestly, it's insane, man. You guys let me know where you're standing right now in the chat, man. I'm pretty hyped up. I love that this is how we started off the day. I knew today was going to be pretty epic. And here we are. I didn't expect it to happen this fast. Let's hear what Connor Hughes has to say about this trade for Minkah Fitzpatrick and what his insight is on the Jets acquiring this trade. Let's hear from Connor Hughes of SNY. Listen in.
This free agent class isn't particularly good. You know that. I know that. More importantly, the New York Jets know that, which is why over the coming weeks, I wouldn't expect them to sign too many big-name players. This free agent class isn't particularly good. You know that. I know that. More importantly, the New York Jets know that, which is why over the coming weeks, I wouldn't expect them to sign too many big-name players. Look for it to be more about quantity over necessarily quality as they fill many of the holes on their roster. But the Jets still plan on making splashes. They're just going to make splashes in other ways, like they did on Monday when they traded for former All-Pro safety Minkah Fitzpatrick from the Dolphins. Now, Fitzpatrick's last couple years, 3 years specifically, haven't been particularly great. He played in 41 games over that span and had just 2 interceptions. But the 3 years before that, he established himself as one of the game's best safeties with 17 picks. The Jets look at this guy and see him as a versatile playmaking chess piece, someone who could play nickel or safety. And when Aaron Glenn had his success in Detroit with those defenses, he had Brian Branch anchoring his back end. Fitzpatrick for the Jets can be what Branch was for Aaron Glenn when he was with the Lions. This free agent class isn't...
So, did the Jets just get their Brian Branch? That's what they need, man. That's what they need. They need a captain of the secondary, someone to rely on, someone to lean on, and they got him. Shout out to Connor Hughes for the breakdown of SNY. Great job covering the New York Jets, as always. Ryan Jett says, what's good, Richie? Happy free agency. Looks like we already made a little splash. Oh, yeah, this is a splash, baby. This is splash. You know it. You know it. We have to spend at least $50 million in accordance with the CBA, so it'll be a busy week for us. Yes, the Jets are going to be spending a lot of money. This is the first domino to fall. Give me Leo Chanel or Devin Lloyd today. Interesting. I haven't heard the Jets being linked to those two, but you cannot rule anything out at this point. Rich, would you be okay with trading a second or third for Waddle? I don't think that would happen. I don't think the Dolphins can make 2 trades with the Jets, but I would do that. I would do it. What about linebackers available to sign? Alex Anzalone is the guy that's really linked to the New York Jets. Another veteran that's not going to be a splash. Like, if the Jets sign an Anzalone, I don't think Jets fans are going to be like, whoa, the Jets are getting Anzalone. Like, we're defense is back. Wow. You know, it's more of a, okay, that is definitely a guy that the Jets are going to be, you know, prioritizing from a leadership standpoint. If you guys don't know much about Alex Anzalone, I mean, he was with Aaron Glenn. You talk about a captain of a defense. I think that this would be an absolutely big-time trade, sign in free agency. Is this man on your screen, Mr. Alex Anzalone? I think that's going to be a player the Jets are going to sign in free agency at linebacker, for those that were asking, for sure. No doubt about it. Mink was my favorite Steeler. Dude is a stud. I'm excited, man. I feel like he's like exactly what the Jets needed in the secondary. Like, you look at the safety market, there's young guys that, that you can, you know, throw a bag at. But I don't want to throw someone a bag that was really good for 4 years. I want someone that's here that understands the league, been here in the league for 8, 10 years. And acquiring him for that type of deal, bro, you kidding me? Are you kidding me? Wow. I'd trade up from 16 for Downs, then take a guard at 33, look for Aller in the 4th. If you're trading up from 16, you may have to package 33, or you're giving up 44 in that. I don't know if Downs is someone you want to trade up for after getting Fitzpatrick. We'll see. What about bringing back JFM? I see him going to Tennessee, reuniting with Tennessee. And, reuniting with Saleh, not reuniting with Tennessee, if that makes sense. $40 million is a hefty bag. I disagree, actually. It's not a hefty bag, in my opinion. A hefty bag is, in my opinion, let me show you what a hefty bag looks like. For those wondering what a hefty bag is. A hefty bag for a safety is Kyle Hamilton's contract, Kirby Joseph's contract, Antoine Winfield's contract, Derwin James's contract, Budda Baker. These are the top 5 safeties in the NFL getting paid. The Jets gave him $40 million, which would be all the way down here in this range. When it gets updated, you'll see it. I don't think that's the case. You know, Minkah is right here at, you know, his deal was 16 for comparison purposes. His deal that the Jets were inheriting was a 1-year, $16.5 million deal with no guaranteed money. So the Jets are acquiring him and restructuring and giving him an extension. So I don't think this is a hefty bag, personally. I stand corrected. Well, that's why you're my man, Damo. And I do feel like, you know, some Jets fans on the surface see $40 million. Cap space in the NFL continues to rise. Money is going to keep being spent. Like, this is another thing where you have to remind yourself every single year when the cap space increases across the NFL, that means value for each position goes up, which means guys are going to reset the market. I mean, did you guys just see what Trent McDuffie just got paid? He got paid more than Sauce. And it's absolutely wild that the Jets got what they got for Sauce. When you look at the Trent McDuffie trade, by the way, still remarkable stuff from the Jets. The one thing the Jets do well, and this is historically, not even just with this regime, but with Joe Douglas too, they know how to overvalue their players and get the most out of them. Jets trading away Jamal Adams for 2 firsts and a third. And then the Jets trade away Sauce for 2 firsts and a second-round pick, which was Adonai Mitchell, basically. And trading Quinnen for a first and a second and a former first-round pick in Mozzie Smith, who's a bust. I mean, we'll see what he can do if he's even going to make the team. But those 2 trades are ridiculous. $40 million is nothing in today's economy in the NFL. 12, 13 million AAV for a really good all-pro level safety who's been in the league for a minute, who has a lot of experience, who's a former all-pro. He's going to be 30. He's 29 years old. He'll be turning 30 years old this upcoming season in November. From Old Bridge, New Jersey. The hot stove is getting hot, folks. It's getting hot, folks. Hit that thumbs up button on your way into the show, folks. Hope you guys are enjoying this day. Breaking news are coming around the NFL as the Jets are bringing in Minkah Fitzpatrick, in case you missed it. Welcome to the New York Jets, Minkah. I feel like this is one of those things where Jets fans are really going to collectively come together and be excited. I feel like sometimes there's a divide in Jets fans where like, yeah, no, like we're not really fans of this or whatever the case may be. But no, this is one of those moves I think Jets fans can come together and realize like, no, this is a really freaking good trade. Like the Jermaine Johnson trade felt like that originally as well. Like I feel like that was just a swap for swap, a fit for a fit. But this is like an addition, bro. This is not just and I don't want to overhype this too much, but this may be the splash of the Jets offseason. Like, what other splash can they make? I mean, I don't want to rule out anything, but what other splash move could they possibly make? What do you guys think? Do they have another splash in them, the Jets? Are the Jets going to be aggressive for somebody that I'm not seeing? Because I think that a Minkah Fitzpatrick to the Jets trade is absolutely huge. He's a journeyman getting a check. Well, actually, he's only played for 2 teams in the NFL in how many years? Journeyman, I would say, has to be at least on like 4 or 5 teams. This is his 3rd team he's ever been on in his 10th or so year. He's not a journeyman. He's also coming off a season of being very productive. So that's just false. He is 29, soon end of career. 29 years old is not like washed up territory, folks. Coming off a very productive season. Some safeties age well. And again, and this is where I guess some people just have a different perspective of things, and I have to wake you guys up sometimes. The Jets are not getting Fitzpatrick in here to be like the face of the franchise for the next 3 years. They're getting Fitzpatrick in to have an impact on the guys around him, to help the Jets establish a winning mindset, establish a productive defense. He's going to provide so much stability and leadership and communication and an ability to do a lot of things. Outside of just his own individual production, it goes beyond that. So worth a 7th round pick and a contract that's $40 million for 3 years. I mean, give me a break. I do that 10 times out of 10 times. These are the opportunities that the Jets are doing it. So we traded Sauce for Minkah. Interesting concept. I don't think we did necessarily, because the Jets are going to be able to turn Sauce's trade into a productive player at pick 16 this year. We have A.D. Mitchell on the team that fills a big hole at wide receiver next to Garrett Wilson. The Jets are going to still add to that unit. And we have another first-round pick from the Sauce trade in 2027 and one of the deepest classes that people are projecting of all time. So, I don't know. Let's go. Minkah got drafted by the Dolphins. LOL. Fins made a huge mistake trading him away again. Yeah, remember when he got traded away from Miami? The Dolphins, what they do, man, they trade, and it's not the case for this trade, but they trade away Minkah Fitzpatrick. He became an absolute stud for Pittsburgh for a long time. They trade away Laremy Tunsil. He became an absolute stud for Houston until he gets traded away. So the Dolphins like hit on draft picks, but they trade him away way too early because they don't want to pay him. Why did the Dolphins even trade Minkah in the first place back to Pittsburgh? He was a Dolphin for 2 years. And then he goes to Pittsburgh and is there for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 seasons. That's crazy. Minkah's been with Pittsburgh for 6 seasons. And he had 6 interceptions in 2022 at Pittsburgh. And then had a down year in 2023. Had an okay in 2024. And then in 2025, he actually was very productive. His production in interceptions has gone down a little bit, but that's okay. The Jets don't need him to be the guy to carry the load on interceptions. He just needs to be someone that can connect the whole squad together. People don't realize 7th rounders are lucky if they even make the roster. We now have a bona fide stud at safety for an affordable contract. The Jets have to overpay normally to draw players away. Nice deal. Great perspective here, Derek. Great perspective here, Brett. Phenomenal. We traded Sauce for 2 players yet to be named and A.D. Mitchell. Facts. And these 2 players yet to be named, they're going to be first-round talents, by the way. 2. And you see Max Crosby get traded. I know that he's a different age than Sauce, but for Max Crosby to go for 2 firsts, and the Jets got more for Sauce than the Raiders got for Max Crosby. The Jets got more for Sauce than what the Chiefs got for Trent McDuffie. Like, it's crazy. The Colts completely overpaid for Sauce. Sauce is a very good football player. No one's denying that, but come on, man. Don't draft a QB, find a good bridge, build a roster. 2027 is the year for a quarterback. I honestly think the Jets' philosophy is going to be signing 2 veterans, and then it gives them flexibility in the draft to get a quarterback if they want. If a quarterback they love in the draft is there, they will take him. If not, they don't have to take him. And say they do take a quarterback, that does not rule out that they're not going to take a quarterback next year. Got to keep taking swings. Got to keep taking swings. Muji seems to be the right GM hire. Yep. And not to be a Debbie Downer or anything, but it felt that same way for Joe Douglas early on in his tenure. We have to wait for it to start translating to wins, and that's just the reality of it. Because Joe Douglas did the same exact thing when he became the Jets GM. He traded away a lot of people for a lot of great value. He had all these picks and everything. The roster was looking great on paper, acquiring all these studs, drafting home runs left and right. Joe Douglas is this, and that, and then the Jets never won anything. So the reality is the Jets have to win football games, and that starts with the quarterback. And that's the biggest mystery of everything. Wow. Wow. Here is a Miami Dolphins beat reporter on the trade. A 2026 7th-round pick for Minkah Fitzpatrick. So essentially, the Dolphins just gave their second-best defender away for $5.8 million in cap space. I wonder what they plan to do with it. That's funny when you look at it that way. Let Mooj cook. Let's go, man. Overpaid for past their prime safety. So, first of all, 7th-round pick is overpaid. You don't know ball. Number 2, a $40 million contract is not overpaid for this market of safeties. Look at the safety market. If the Jets gave Fitzpatrick a $85 million deal or a 20-something plus AAV contract, you'd be on to something. But guess what? They gave him a 12.5-ish AAV contract for a guy that's 29 years old. And also, let me add this. Is Minkah Fitzpatrick past his prime? Yeah, I'll give you that. But being past his prime doesn't mean he's a bad football player. He's still a top 10 safety in the league. He's at 29 years old. Just because you're past your prime, which I would agree, Minkah Fitzpatrick is past his prime. But does not mean he's washed. Doesn't mean he's bad. Doesn't mean he's a liability. He's still a productive top 10 safety in the league. Is he up there with the greatest safeties in the league right now? No. These are the top guys. Kyle Hamilton, Kirby Joseph, Derwin James, Budda Baker, Jesse Bates. But Minkah Fitzpatrick was once at the top. And the Jets need experience. He's still got 2-3 years left in the tank for sure. So if you think the Jets overpaid, you're either just trolling, which who doesn't troll in this world anymore, or you don't know ball. I mean, it's that simple. Like, this is as objective as it possibly is, man. I don't think you can even have a subjective lens of this, of any opinions. Like, oh, well, I don't know. A 7th-round pick and $40 million deal for 3 years is unbelievable value. It's like crazy value, dog. I'm at a loss for words. Still. And I'm not ignorant. I'm not looking at Minkah like, dude, we just got an all-pro that's going to give the Jets 4, 5, 6 interceptions and it's going to be a Pro Bowler and going to be a captain and all these things. But what he's going to do is add a big-time upgrade to a position of a huge, glaring hole. That's what the Jets need, man. I mean, Richie, our special teams, man, folk, we chilling. And we sign more defense. We good. Then sign at 2. Yeah, man, I love this guy. Thank you, bro. And they surprisingly kept him in division. Maybe he wanted to come home. Maybe. You're going to get Kyle Murray, my buddy. Well, buddy, he's going to Minnesota. He's not coming to the Jets. Squirt. It's Kyler Murray, by the way. My buddy. We got a good-ass player for a cheap discount. Facts. You don't pay for past results. $40 million for 3 years is a good deal. He'll be 32 by time contract ends. So this is another example of someone that does not know how contracts work. I guarantee you when the contract details get revealed, the Jets are going to be able to get out of this deal before the deal ends. And by the way, it's not $40 million guaranteed. You got to learn contracts, people. Some people look at 3 years, $40 million, and they think that this is not basketball or baseball. This is football. This is the NFL. Contracts are structured differently. The Jets did not pay him a full $40 million deal. And 29 years old, 30 years old, and 31 years old is that part of your career where you are that savvy veteran that a football team like the New York Jets desperately need. $40 million is not expensive in today's economy of the NFL. And say he does become a bust. Say he gets injured and he's not able to stay in the field. Say he's bad. I promise you, the Jets are probably going to be able to get out of this deal after year 1 or even year 2 without cap casualties. I don't think this guy, Ref 233, knows much about contracts. Because contracts are structured in a very unique way to protect. And based off the contracts that Darren Muji has signed so far, they've been very intelligent to protect the team over the player. That's why that Sauce Gardner trade was very doable, because they made that contract very tradable. And like also, 32 years old is like not even that old, bro. He's not 32, by the way. He'll be 32 at the end of the contract, yeah. Come on, man. Would you guys want Cisco or Minkah for $4 million more? Great point. By the way, it's not like he was bad this season. He wasn't. That's another thing. People are making it seem like this guy's washed up. If what he did last year is considered washed up, give me that washed up player all day. Give me the 81.8 overall grade on PFF, which is 7th out of safeties. He has a 7th graded season last year in Miami. 7th. And he's getting paid, by the way, not the 7th highest safety in the league. So someone, please enlighten me how this is paying for a washed-up player past his prime. If the Jets gave him top 5 money, then I would agree. Not a good idea. I would agree. This is a team-friendly contract. I don't know why people don't understand that concept. Because people are like, oh, well, you're paying him for his past production. No, we're not. The Jets are not paying him for the past production. If they paid him for their past production, then Minkah Fitzpatrick would have been paid as a top 5 safety, like these guys, like these contracts. Do you guys not realize that? They would have paid him $19 million a year or $20+ million a year. That's how good Minkah was. But we all are aware how Minkah is now. Now he's getting paid $12 million per year, 12.5-ish, to get to $40 million. Come on, man. $13.3 million AAV in this market is not expensive. It's that simple, folks. It's that simple, man. So I think you got to look at it from that perspective, man. It's got to. Rather pay Minkah than who are our safeties. And that's another thing, man. The Jets got no safeties. They don't have safeties. That's the one position they literally don't have anybody on. They have Malachi Moore, who they drafted last year, who actually is a player I like and I'm excited to see develop, who went to the same college as Minkah. But outside of him, there is absolutely nobody. Tony Adams is going to walk in free agency. Andre Cisco is going to walk in free agency. Isaiah Oliver is going to walk in free agency. Good. And I want them all to walk because they're all bad. Tony Adams is a solid guy. He's probably going to sign in Tennessee. So, I don't know. Minkah was on a bad Dolphins team last season. The leadership was a mess, and Tua couldn't get the ball to the receivers. Yeah. Now, if the Jets signed Tua, that's where I really get upset. Safety was a position of need. Facts, man. This is exactly what it is. You're getting a position of need for a very good valued contract. For a very cheap compensation. Come on, man. Minkah Fitzpatrick, welcome to the New York freaking Jets, baby. He also has a lot of experience. Like, coming from Pittsburgh, I know that he's coming from Miami, but being in Pittsburgh all those years, a very successful organization that always wins, he understands. ABT to the Giants, yeah, it seems like that, unfortunately. What position or players do you think we signed today? I think Alex Anzalone could be an announcement today. I think the linebacker position is going to be a piece to watch. I think that the defensive end position, Mohammed, Marcus Davenport, I think defense, it's going to be defense. Maybe the Jets sign a guard as well. I don't know. Very happy with this deal. Only giving up a late round pick is awesome. Facts. This is one ingredient. Let Muji cook the whole meal. You know it. ABT can kick rocks. Nothing but injured. Yeah, I know. Just my perspective of the ABT situation is I know how this usually rolls, and he's going to get healthy, and he's going to be successful, and he's going to be a dog when he leaves the Jets. That's just how it works. But if the Jets bring him back, he's going to get hurt. That's just how the cookie crumbles for the Jets these days. You know? Honestly, I'd rather want Tua than Wentz. I don't even know how I feel about that. I don't even want to get into that debate because I don't want to even entertain Tua. The reality is the Jets are going to be linked to every single quarterback that becomes available. Tua is available. The Jets are going to do their research on Tua because they have to. You know? So, I don't know, man. Pretty fun stuff. Pretty fun news to wake up to. Do you think they grabbed Wentz today? Geno Smith, also an option. Apparently, Geno wants to go to Miami. And if the Dolphins do not get Malik Willis, there's a chance that Geno goes to the Dolphins. as their chief tank commander. We'll see. But for the Jets quarterback search, I mean, that's a whole other conversation. I think it's going to be between Geno Smith, Carson Wentz, Andy Dalton is an option. Tua Tagovailoa, unfortunately, is an option. You know, Geno wants to go to the Dolphins. He wants to go home. But I wonder if he'd want to come home to the Jets, the team that drafted him. I don't know, man. Like, I don't even want to say this out loud, but Jets fans, if the Jets sign Tua, what's your reaction, man? I've seen some people try to warm me up to this idea, bro. I don't know. It's a tough sell. It's a very tough sell, man. I don't know if I can be sold on that guy. You know what I mean? Look at the Dolphins community reacting to this. That's all they can get for him? The Dolphins reporter. I don't want Wentz or Geno. Maybe Tua would be better with the O-line. I don't know, man. I might be in the minority, but I'd rather Geno or Wentz over Tua. Like, Tua, his character, I just don't care about an offensive line. There's nothing about Tua that makes me feel good. Because the reality is this, bro. You're getting these quarterbacks to be bridge. I could be dead wrong, and Tua can come and be a baller for all I know. But and Geno and Wentz are not better options. That's the problem. Just draft someone, make him your guy. Mac Jones is not available unless you want to give up a first-round, second-round pick for him. That's another problem. OG Jake 99 with a super chat. I bet all these non-ball knowers calling Minkah Fitzpatrick wanted Rodgers back. Is that true? OG Jake 99 with a super chat. Thank you, my friend. I appreciate you, bro. I greatly, greatly appreciate the super chat. OG Jake sending in a lot of love this morning on this breaking news Monday. I have a feeling that Minkah is a $12 million a year with 23 to 25. I'm excited to see what the details is. Can we sign AVT to a one-year deal, see if can stay healthy? I don't think so, because I think there's teams out there that wants him to be there long-term, wants to give him a long-term contract. Maybe a 2-year deal or a 3-year deal. I think some teams value AVT and they want to take that risk. And I don't think AVT is going to want to come back just for a 1-year deal with the Jets if he can get a better contract elsewhere. We need 2 vets QB on the team. I agree. And I think that's what's going to happen. We might sign Trubisky and draft a guy. Yeah, Mitch Trubisky could be another option. Like, all these veterans are in the same boat for me. I mean, I'd take someone that can absolutely, like, run an offense. That would be nice. Someone that can actually look competent. That would be cool. Someone that knows how to just operate an offense would be fun. That's the bare minimum that we want as Jets fans. It's sad, but it's the truth. That's really all we want. Someone that can run an offense. Someone that can make throws down the field. Because going from Justin Fields last year to Brady Cook, bro, was like, that was hard. That was tough, man. It was tough. It was so tough. But we got through it. Any rumors for any other position than quarterback? Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of rumors. A lot of rumors. when it comes to the linebackers, when it comes to all these other things, we'll see. How about this? Minkah Fitzpatrick to the Jets. Rich Cimini was on it first. Look at this. Omar Kelly. That ain't happening. To the news that Rich Cimini said that the Jets could be trading for Minkah. Shout out to Rich Cimini, who was all over this. Rich had to clap back with a little. There we go. I love it. That ain't happening, said Omar Kelly. It happened. Oh, boy, did it happen. How do you feel about Deshaun Watson? No comment. I don't want any of these bums, Murray or Carr. My boy, you got to add Tua to that. You know what I mean, dude? If you're going in with that energy, I don't want any of these bums, Murray or Carr. You got to add Tua to that. You feel me? $5 super chat from my man, Matthew. Thank you, man. I appreciate it. Whoever they get for QB need to be a culture guy if they want to turn this around. Tua isn't that guy. Exactly. Also appreciate you. You are a content goat. Thank you so much, man. I really do appreciate that. I do a lot for you guys. I really try my best to be here and be consistent and give you guys the content that I think Jets fans deserve. So I appreciate the love and appreciate the super chat. Guys, super chats go a long way, man. It really, really does. You guys have no idea how much the super chats mean to me and how awesome it is that you guys show the support to the channel. When you do this full time, it's a struggle at times, but at the same time, it's what I love to do. And I wouldn't want to do it any other way. Let's do it. So I do appreciate that, man. Let's go. What's next? What's next, man? I'm ready. I am ready for the next breaking news. Well, legal tampering begins in an hour. So there's not going to be much news outside of this trade unless there's another trade that happens. So got to keep an eye on that. The Cowboys, I missed that. They traded for Rashawn Gary. I know that the Cowboys wanted an edge rusher. And I do love this. The Bama safety duo. Shout out to my boy Dylan. NY Jet fan only. The Bama safety duo. I do love that. Come on, man. Jets won the trade, Dolphins fans. Stop the cope. I mean, every Dolphins fan admits that. What Dolphins fans not admitting that? Tua to Arizona? Yeah, I don't know where. I think Kyler's going to go to the Vikings. Still got to get another safety. Yeah, the Jets are not done, bro. This is just the beginning. All right? This is just the beginning. So, folks, what do you think we should do? Do you think I should end the stream and then come back for the legal tampering period that opens up in an hour? We've been live for an hour and 13 minutes breaking down the news. Should I take a quick break and come back? If I end this stream and start a new one later, you guys going to come back, or are you going to leave me and not join me back? Or should we just keep it going and be live all throughout the day and not end? I don't know. What do you guys think? He's not washed, bro. Don't let the people convince you he's washed. All right. So we're gonna take a break here, folks. So we're gonna wrap up this live, but then I'll be back live for the legal tampering period that's gonna open up in an hour from now. So hit that subscribe button, folks. Turn on bell notifications so you get notified every single time. And just do me a favor, guys. Come back, man. I know that, there's going to be more breaking news, going to be more fun things going on. And, I mean, I've been up since 6 a.m. doing some fun things all morning long. And it's going to be a long day. So I'm going to be back in an hour. So make sure you guys come on back, folks. I appreciate you guys big time. Hit that like button on your way out. Subscribe if you're new. Share the show with your family members, with your friends. We're also very close to hitting a subscriber goal, which is 32,000 subs. Do you guys think we can hit 32K today? We're around 50 subscribers away from that. 50 subscribers away. So we'll see. I'll see you guys in an hour or so. Love you guys. And this is not a goodbye. It's a see you soon. Peace out, folks.